Welcome to Hardheaded Podcast. It's time to join the conversation.
February 2nd, another episode of Hardheaded Podcast coming at you. Today,
Episode 113.
Yeah, very good. Can't believe it. Over 100 still. Like never going back.
We can't be under 100 ever again.
Yeah, today we're going to hear what's on Matt's mind. We're going to do a top 3 things that make you feel better when you're sick. And then Chet's going to end it with a good word. Let's just get into it. Matt, what is on your mind?
I'll tell you what's on my mind today, boys. Red Kingdom is going to the Super Bowl.
Yay.
Yeah, all right.
Woo-hoo.
Go Chiefs.
So excited.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You guys are Saints fans.
Oh.
I forget.
Oh.
The Tomahawk Chop,
yeah.
they've tried to cancel that. Can't do it.
That's fine. I'm not.
That's true. I
don't need to cancel that thing.
Need.
We're just fans over here.
Go for it.
Of the Kansas City Chiefs?
Yeah, I'd rather them win than the Eagles. So, yeah, I'm pulling for them.
Oh, perfect.
I'm going to probably root for the Eagles.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they're in the NFC. So are the Saints.
Yeah, the Eagles.
So
I can't do that, man. I cannot support you in that.
So it's
decision.
like, here's what I do with college football, right? So college football, Tech, Louisiana Tech's number 1 for me.
Yeah.
And then number 2 is LSU.
Okay.
Always root for LSU.
Yeah.
And then if there's another game on TV, I'm usually rooting for the SEC. You know,
Yeah.
the SEC always, because that's just the dominant conference.
It used to be like that for me, but not anymore.
Oh.
But I get you. So why the Eagles? You're just going to stick with the conference.
I'm just sticking with the conference. Yeah.
But aren't there? So if Tampa Bay was in there, you'd pull for them, or if Atlanta, you would as a Saints fan, you would want Atlanta to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, because they're in the NFC.
Yeah, I mean you got to have some standards, man.
I do. I'm NFC all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sad.
It is sad. I'm an AFC guy now. I mean, I've been pulling for the Bengals up until they got screwed.
No, I do pull for the Bengals because I like Joe
Burrow.
I was
and
pulling for
Jamar
him.
Chase. And
Joe Burrow, no way.
What do you got to say about Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow is in line to be
Joe
the
Burrow?
next greatest star.
Joe Burrow 3-1 against Mahomes. Joe Burrow. That's who we're talking about.
Mahomes is on his way out. Just wake up.
Absolutely
Joe Cool.
not.
Joe
No.
Cool. Joe Shiesty. Joe Burr. Because he's ice cold.
No. I
You
will
heard that
say
one before? Joe Burr.
I will say that he's
a stud.
if I was a football player at his level, our attitudes are the same because I would just sit on the bench. There would be no reaction one way or the other, and we just play the game. I do like that about him because he shows really no emotion when he's playing. He's like he's there to do a job, and it's serious business, and there's no
Ice cold.
You really can't tell any emotion, even if he throws a interception or anything like that. And there's really no facial expression like
Yeah.
He keeps going. So I do respect him as a quarterback, but he's nowhere near the level of Mahomes.
He's better.
No.
Yeah, he is.
Absolutely not. No.
As a quarterback, he is.
He is not.
Matt's living in a dream world.
Yeah.
No, based on
Your fandom is
based on
skewing.
every factor from passing yards to quarterback rating, Mahomes has outperformed him this year.
Oh, okay, let's go to this year. Let's not talk about how long they've been playing or what's going to happen in the future, which we all know.
How long's Burrow been playing?
This is his 3rd season.
And so this is Mahomes' was it 4th, 3rd?
No. He was around. He just wasn't good enough to play.
No,
He was riding the pine. He wasn't drafted in the 1st round and go start for a team that was at the bottom. And take them to the Super Bowl in 2 years.
And Michael Jordan was cut from his
that?
high school basketball team, and he was the greatest of all time.
I don't even know what you're saying. I'm not even listening to
Do
you.
you want to have that debate, or are you a LeBron James? You think he's the king?
No, he's not the king. He whines and complains when fouls don't get called. Did you see him break down after he didn't get a foul called? He literally collapsed on the court and for like a minute. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I haven't seen that.
Dude,
one.
he and then he collapsed on the court with his head in his hands on his knees and stayed that way for a minute because he didn't get a foul called against him.
Perfect.
Mahomes' rookie year was 2017.
How many starts did
where
he
he
get?
was back up to Alex Smith the whole year. He was named the starter in 2018
What was
after
his
the
passer
Chiefs
rating in 2017?
after they traded Smith to the Washington Redskins. That season, Mahomes had a good year.
Mahomes has had great years. Mahomes
Yeah.
is a good quarterback.
He 10th overall first round pick by the Chiefs in 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't have to take it on right away.
He just had to
He did.
sit back and wait for Alex to get traded.
Seniority. Just got to wait for
But
him to
Burrow, in his first 3 years, has been to the AFC Championship twice and the Super Bowl once.
Yeah.
So,
And Mahomes is close.
and Mahomes has won a
won a
Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl.
So, I mean, he's a good quarterback.
And this is-
I'm saying he's
this is-
not
this
going to
is-
last.
And this is the third Super Bowl in 4 years.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm saying he's not going to last.
Which Burrow has the same opportunity next year. And then I'll tell you another reason that I was pulling for the Bengals over the Chiefs is the last time I predicted the Chiefs win a Super Bowl, they goose egged it. They sucked. In fact, we did a podcast special picking the Super Bowl champions.
Well, and you and I were on the road,
yeah, we were coming back from Montana.
and we watched that game.
Yeah, and it was not a good game.
No, that was terrible.
And they tried to do that again this game against the Bengals. Everybody else tried except Mahomes. He did a really good job, and he had to have the help from the officiating. But other than that, they played a pretty good game with their second and third string receivers.
Trust, there was no help from the officials.
There was plenty of help from the officials.
No, I don't think so.
No, hold on.
So
Hold on.
What help?
Just let me say. Let me ask you an honest question.
I'll give you a
Without
honest answer.
Without having it saying that it had an impact on the outcome of the game. Okay, I'm not asking you to say that it had an impact on the outcome of the game. Did more calls go towards the Chiefs' favor or the Bengals?
I'm trying to think of the go back to the penalties because I didn't write them all down.
Well, there was a lot of penalties that were not called against the Chiefs.
Well, and I mean there
were a lot of penalties called against.
Well, and we had
the Bengals.
We had such bad calls. We had to use our 2 challenges to.
Well, what was
to
the
get
whole
things back.
clock thing? That one.
That
was strange.
Now let me tell you what
They
happened.
couldn't get the clock right.
That was weird, but that's not the Chiefs or the refs favoring anybody. That was just them trying to stop the play.
You could say that it wasn't, but did it favor them? Yes, it did. Even if it was an honest mistake, you have to admit it favored them. They got a whole extra play, which they got sacked on after the fact. But the reality is they had a whole extra play.
They did get the extra play, but again, that's not on them. I mean, the refs made a bad call, and I get that, but that it didn't turn out to be in the Chiefs' favor.
It was in the Chiefs' favor, even if they didn't capitalize on it.
It didn't work out for them.
But here's the thing: if they would have,
it gave them the opportunity.
I bet
to
you money if they would have got
capitalize
a first down, they wouldn't have replayed it. I bet you money if they would have got a first down on that. And the dude didn't blow the whistle. He didn't. And there's no evidence of him running onto the field.
There is video of him running onto the field.
Can I finish the statement?
I'm just saying there was.
There is no evidence of him running out on the field to stop the play before the play started. There's only evidence of him running out on the field after they had snapped the ball.
Well, because that's when he looked at the clock and ran out and goes, no, that's not right. It needs to be set to this. I mean, because you can see in the video him running out and then the play had already started, so he's not trying to get run over.
No.
And then
yeah, you're right. But here's the deal. The other official, the one that the guy with the microphone, told them to start the clock. That's when you should have said, no. Don't start the clock. But what they do, they waited till after the play was over and not successful, then said, okay, let's do it.
Well, that guy tried, but he didn't hear the other guy call it because it was so loud there.
It was not so loud there. The Chiefs had the ball and the crowd was quiet. That's another misnomer that's everybody's like, it was too loud. They were not that loud. And he did not blow the whistle.
They were loud.
Not while the Chiefs had the ball.
Oh, yeah.
I'm tired of arguing about this.
Yeah.
The guy won't even admit that all the calls went in there. Most of the calls went in their favor.
Yeah.
Well, because most of them didn't.
How many people got held on the last play?
On the last play?
Yeah. The one that he late hit out of bounds, legit call. But there is you watch that replay. There were 2 defensive linemen that were clearly held, trying to get them that forced Mahomes out of the pocket. They were, I mean, literally hands around the neck, arms around the neck, kind of hold. But they didn't call that. That would have been offsetting.
Well, and to be fair on
the block in the back on the punt, they gave him the good field position. He bowled the dude over from the back. So you didn't even watch the game.
No, I did, but here's what happened. I didn't get to see Mahomes on the when he got hit out of bounds. I didn't get to see that because as soon as that happened, I don't know whether it was the time slot because I got Fubo TV, the internet TV.
Yeah,
I think the time slot for it ended and the game just stopped and it like cut off and I'm like, no! And so I'm trying to get back and I got back just in time for them. I saw him.
Are you playing it? Chet's playing it.
No, I'm just showing him the picture of the hold.
That's not
same play.
That's not holding. That's not.
Let me see. Oh, that's not holding. That's a headlock.
And he's behind him.
Well, as Saints fans, we know exactly how it feels.
It's hard to tell, but the Bengals player is on his stomach with the Chiefs player behind him after having shoved him to the ground from behind while he's going to try to tackle that guy.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. That's called football.
Well, that's called blocking in the back.
Well, if that's called football, then the shove out of bounds should have been called.
But so here's what I'll say. No matter what, I mean, there's a lot of people complaining about the officiating, and there were some legitimate bad calls. I get that. I don't think they changed the outcome of the game at all, but it's at least nice for once that the Chiefs had some calls go their way. Because that never happens.
No, you are an ingrained. I probably have the evidence here too. They did a Twitter search or Twitter statistics. The fan base that complains on Twitter about officiating, the most complaining fan base in existence in the world today is the Chiefs.
Perfect.
No,
because it's true.
It's not.
I bet those numbers right now do not even match. Because I guarantee Bengals fans are overloading it.
No,
now.
This is taking a whole football season into account. And I'll tell you, if anything, the Saints ought to be complaining about officiating more. They had to change the way the rules apply in the NFL to cover up for stupid crap that have happened to the Saints, legitimately change the outcome of the game.
2 years in a row.
So
lost playoff games.
Let me just tell you, the Chiefs fans need to shut their mouth on saying the officiating is always bad for them. Because here you are saying it didn't change the outcome of the game for the Bengals, and you're like, it didn't change the outcome of the game. But they changed the outcome of all of our games when they don't go our way.
No, I mean, I don't think they ultimately, there are some that do, and I think it's across the board with every team. There are some calls that affect the outcome of the game. Overall, no, because if you leave it up to the refs, I mean, you didn't play good enough. And the Chiefs has been there before, like last year's AFC game. We just didn't play as good as the Bengals did.
Or the games against the Bengals all up until this one. You've never played good enough to beat them.
Well, yeah, I mean, but
since Burrow's been there, I'll put that around there. But hey, go Chiefs, man! I'm pulling for them. I want them to win. Yeah, that was.
I will say that game, I did not have any fingernails left after that game, and I really enjoy.
That was a great game.
And now, because I think it was Frank Clark who said, "What do you mean rivalry? We haven't beat them yet."
Yeah,
and now that they've won, now it can kind of be a rivalry. But I think those two quarterbacks, are the best in the league. And I mean, Josh Allen's pretty close, but I don't think he's not anywhere near those two yet.
I'll tell you what, I got in an argument with my son about this, and he changed my mind. Like, because I was like, oh, Josh Allen. He's like, dude, Josh Allen is overrated. And you start looking at it, he's not as good. He's a good quarterback. He's not at the level of Mahomes and Burrow. He's just not.
He's not. But I do look forward to the games in the years to come between these two teams.
I agree.
And I'd wished that, because they were out, the Bengals were out two of their starting offensive linemen And I think that hurt them a little
Big
bit
time.
with their pass protection.
Really
which is,
hurt them.
Which is what they.
Before this. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's what the previous years that's what they recruited because that was the problem.
Yeah.
Was everybody getting to Burrow, and now that they've got that offensive line kind of stacked, his protection's better. But 2 of those guys were out, and then we had a bunch of injuries on the Chiefs. I want to see those 2 teams healthy, playing each other.
Well, we did twice and 3 times, and Bengals smoked them.
I have to go back because I know there were injuries on some of those, but they didn't smoke them. I mean, 3 points is not a smoke. I mean, any one of those games could have gone either.
100% smoke.
Any of those games could have gone.
Let me
way.
tell you this: for the Chiefs to do what they did, they had a guy from the practice squad receiving because they had so many injuries on the receivers. For Mahomes to be, they said he was 80%, and that's not true. He was worse off than that. His throws were off his front foot. He couldn't even plant his foot to throw. Still had some sauce on the ball. But I will tell you this, what is offensive, having worked in the prosthetics industry for 2 years of my life, don't you go saying Mahomes did all that on one leg. Because he had 2 legs out there. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
People are like, he did all that on one leg. No, he didn't. I saw 2 legs.
Hey, wait,
There were 2
somebody
legs.
with no legs is about to back up Mahomes.
No.
Okay, good. So I got a question though about the Super Bowl. I mean, the 49ers had a great season and they looked pretty awesome. Playing the Eagles, they got smoked. Now, granted, Purdy got put out in the first or second quarter.
He did not. He got injured.
Well, that's what I mean. He got injured
and then the
taken out.
backup came in and got injured, and then Purdy came back.
Right.
Torn ligament.
In his
elbow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like literally, he threw the ball twice.
That's
yeah.
That's how bad the Eagles suck. I mean, like they almost lost to a team.
Well, no, I mean,
quarterback.
I mean, and that's what I was saying. I don't like the Eagles to begin with. I don't.
They had the easiest playoff run ever, and I hope the Chiefs stomp a mud hole in them.
I think based on what I saw against the 49ers, I think it's going to.
I don't want a competitive game.
I'm not even going to say anything. I didn't say anything leading up to the Bengals game because I was like, if I say something, my buddy who's been on the podcast before, Josh, is going to get all fired up and he's going to throw it in my face, whatever. And so I was just like, I'm going to be quiet. And even during the game, I told those guys, I was like, don't text me during the game. Number one, because I'm on, I'm watching internet TV and my internet's not the greatest, and so you may be a play ahead of me, and I don't want to know the outcome before the play. And then also, I don't want to talk smack during the game and go back and forth. I just want to watch this game in peace. And then after the fact, let's get together. So then I started trash talking after we won.
Right. Let's wait till we win, and if we lose, then I'm just going to turn my phone off.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But we have a third buddy that's in our little chat group, and we've got a Bengals fan, a Cowboys fan, and then I'm the Chiefs fan.
God bless that guy.
And
who, the Cowboys fan?
Yeah.
And the Cowboys, if I had a second favorite team, it would be the Cowboys. And
of course it would.
That's just
you fit that mold.
That's just a family. That's just a family lineage type of thing. But and I was telling him, I was like, man, I hope they play really well, because I go, how awesome would it be to have 2 of our teams in the Super Bowl, the Cowboys versus the Chiefs. I think
they're not gonna make it.
That'll never
They don't
happen.
have the here's I showed Troy this meme. It's a picture of a Cowboys wrap truck. It says it runs good until November and December. In January, it just doesn't run after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that Brock Purdy dude, what a tough hand that the 49ers were dealt with all the injuries, but to come in as a third string quarterback and win 7 games in a row.
That's pretty awesome. And he seems like a really good dude too.
Yeah, he is. He's a really cool dude. So wish him the best. Tommy John surgery is what it's looking like. He's going to get a second opinion, but it looks like he's going to have Tommy John surgery just because of that one play.
Man, that's football.
Well, yeah, and then that same thing happened to their what is the 4th string?
Yeah, I don't know how extensive his injury
it may
was.
It may not have been that bad, but it was the same.
He couldn't throw.
It was the same type.
I feel
of
like
hit.
that lineman was just going for the elbow.
Yeah. Well, they can't do anything else. Like if you, like there were a couple. There's one blatant one where Frank Clark took 3 steps after Burrow threw the ball, and then he hit him, shoved him to the ground, and they didn't call that. But I mean, typically, that's an aside.
Yeah, Burrow got up and was excited.
Like what
where's
you guys
the call?
gonna do?
I saw he threw his hands up.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're so protective around quarterbacks that it's basically you do almost have to go for the ball, right?
Yeah,
And so I think we're going to see a little bit more injuries similar to this coming up. Unfortunately, those are.
And maybe the NFL will consider that too, and who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
But it's the same thing with the kickers too. I mean, you got guys diving over trying to block the ball, and then they just inadvertently, when they're falling, they fall into the kicker. It's not on his, kicking leg; it's on the, his plant leg, and so what? I mean. Whatever. If he's in the process of kicking the ball, and
at least he's got a leg.
Yeah, I mean, but I remember back, just
yes,
whatever. I don't know. I guess a little.
It's a little bit more sissified today.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, and back to the Mahomes comment on playing on one leg. I mean, it's not one leg; he had two. I mean,
clearly
he's still able to walk on it. It still articulates like it's.
And he still can run.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he proved that at the last bit there. But yeah, I mean, I just go back to. I do give him credit because I had a similar injury when I was playing soccer, and I wasn't going to not be in the game, and ended up playing. And I mean, it just hurt the entire game, And I mean, prosthetic wise, I don't have to worry about my ankles hurting anymore. So
right.
But now I just know that pain that he was feeling. So credit to him for, gritting his teeth and getting through it, as well as everybody else that was injured, especially the 49ers. I mean, to come back in with that when you're messed up, and to continue to play. And he threw the ball once or twice. It wasn't
twice.
Yeah, it wasn't
none of them were past the line of scrimmage. It was like screenplays.
Yeah,
and whatnot.
but still, I mean, that's tough.
That dude. So we heard who we're pulling for. So 2 for the Chiefs and 1 for the Eagles. Prediction on who's actually going to win. I'm not going to do it because the last time we did it and we all picked the Chiefs and they didn't win. So let's not do that.
All right, I'll pick the Chiefs.
I'm not.
See what I did there?
I'm not making a pick. I just want them all to be healthy though. Like I would like to see a full strength Chiefs play a full strength Eagles.
Yeah, I agree. Like any team, you want them all to be healthy and want the best people out on the field for the best game that could happen.
Yeah. I hope it's a good game.
And to answer your question, if it was Tampa Bay, no, I'd be rooting for the Chiefs.
Okay.
I can't stand Tom Brady.
But the Dirty Birds, you're okay with?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I can't stand them when they're playing the Saints. But yeah. Anyway, all right, enough football. Happy Super Bowl. Let's get to our top 3. We're going to take a break first. Are you driving traffic to your website? Do you have an engaging homepage? Better yet, does your homepage have a video? We recently created a video for a client about his business and the services they provide. Since he placed the video on the homepage of their website, he has had a number of clients specifically say they decided to use his services because of that video. At Trussell Media, we help businesses create engaging videos to host on their websites, email to clients, and use in their social media marketing. Contact us if you're interested in creating a video for your homepage today. TrussellMedia.com. Fill out the form at TrussellMedia.com/contact. Let us help you tell your story through video. Welcome back. Top 3 things that make you feel better when you're sick. I'm interested to hear what y'all came up with here. Chet, why don't you lead us off?
Number 3, white rice. Just give me a bowl of rice, a little salt, a little pepper, a little butter. If I could feel I could eat solid food, like a meal, that's what I want my first meal to be.
All right.
Number 2.
So you're going with like a little tummy sickness.
Yeah, it's if it's like that's the only thing keep me down, man. That and the inability to breathe.
Yeah, that one put you in the hospital.
Yeah. Other than that,
that's a rough one.
Yes, the stomach. If I don't, I could just muscle through just about anything, man. But
yeah, if you got to be close to a commode,
if you're puking or something like that. So white rice. Number 2, saltine crackers. Have a sleeve of those on the nightstand. And number 1, 7-Up. And that's the only time I could drink it. Like if there's a 7-Up, I immediately feel like, I only associate this with illness.
I got to ask Matt, did you ever drink 7-Up as a kid when you were sick?
Maybe a little bit.
I'm just curious if that's a Southern thing because my parents, every time we're sick, go get a 2 liter 7-Up, get some fluids in them.
Because Ashley's like lemon lime Gatorade. Like she's not a 7-Up person.
Oh, well, I remember 7-Up.
Yeah.
Her parents buying that.
Yeah.
Maybe they bought.
I mean, I think growing up there was some. I don't know if it's a old wives' tale that it was supposed to help settle your stomach or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't have
but
it.
that
like,
was the.
It's specifically. It's like Sprite, doesn't matter, whatever. 7-Up. It has to be 7-Up.
Yeah.
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 I think there. I have to look that up. I think there was a study done on that.
Yeah.
I think there was, but
you're not gonna look it up. So.
But now I'm more of the Gatorade. Get the electrolytes. Get something actually that's going to benefit you into the body.
You got to be careful, because like sometimes it's the last thing that you ate, you will never eat again.
Yeah.
Right? So you don't want to start associating things that you enjoy with that illness. So I don't want to risk adding Gatorade in there. I kind of like Gatorade.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So when it comes to stomach distress, many people view a cup of flat soda as just what the doctor ordered. They're saying use clear liquids, ginger ale, clear sodas, and 7-Up. Sprite is not listed. Interesting. All right, Matt, what you got? You got a top 3?
I do. Let's see. I wrote them down.
He prepared. All
right. Number 1 or number 3. Good movies.
That was an honorable mention for me because if I'm sick, all I want to do is lay in the bed and just watch some
But you
TV.
feel better? That makes you feel better?
Yeah, because I can listen to something and take my mind off of actually being sick.
Yeah.
So if it's a headache, like I've got a fever and my eyes are burning.
If you have a headache, you watch TV?
No, I listen. So that's why it's got to be a good movie. I've got to have and a movie that I've seen a lot so that I can visualize as I'm laying there with, my head buried in a pillow. Like I can visualize the movie going on.
Headaches don't take me down. But go ahead.
No, you haven't had my kind of headaches. Get blown up a couple times.
Oh, throw the trump card down.
Headaches don't bother me too much. I have had a few migraines though, and they'll put me down.
Yeah,
only a few in my life.
I get a couple every now and then where I lose vision partially, but I keep rolling.
Don't worry about that. That's not a big deal. But yeah, I do like those. I get migraines to where I get like my stomach gets upset and I want to throw up, and it's just the only thing you can do is just like lay there and put your head in the pillow. And
yeah, Hannah gets those sometimes. They suck.
And then so along those same lines, and it doesn't matter if it's stomach, if it's the flu or a cold, whatever, a heating pad. For some reason, just laying there on that heating, and I sleep with a heating pad almost every night anyway, but it's even.
Then you drive around with your seat heater on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your seat.
So it's always
even in the summertime.
Even in the summertime, seat heaters are on. And then number 1, and I've just learned this one because I'm a, what would you call it? I'm a hot-blooded person. So I run hot all the time. And so when I sleep at night, I sleep with minimal covers. I still have like a little thin sheet, that I'll sleep with. But a heavy blanket when I'm sick, I don't know what it is, a heavy blanket really helps.
Like a big quilt.
Yeah. Just something that adds just a little bit of weight. Which makes me want to look into actual weighted blankets, but who knows?
I've used a weighted blanket. I used one when I had COVID. Made me feel good. Mm-hmm. What are you laughing at, Chet?
This is the same list. with my daughters, that if you're not feeling well, like this is the this is the remedy. This is the remedy right here.
Go watch some movies, get a heated
sit on
blanket,
a hot pad, get a movie, and come up with a blanket.
I don't have those kinds of times of the month. That's what you call a man cold, son.
Oh man,
classic.
That's funny.
All right, good.
All right, Number 3 for me is Vicks Vapor Rub. Because usually when I get sick, head cold, some kind of congestion or something, I can't sleep without a little bit of Vicks Vapor
Where do you
Rub.
put it on your face?
Put it on my nose. It's under my nose.
Yep.
Put it on the bottom of my feet.
Give yourself the
Put
little
some socks on.
little Vapo Rub Hitler stash.
Yep.
I've never done it. I've never used it.
My mom used to use it when I was a kid. I haven't used it since. Every now and then, though, I'll grab the jar and just.
Yeah.
And then
I mean,
good.
it's
Like a hit.
it's eucalyptus.
You
That's
roll
what it
over, you
is.
get all that grease on your pillow.
No.
You don't?
It's just a little Hitler stash. Yeah.
That's what because it is eucalyptus. I need to come out with an Admiral's Pennant blend for being sick.
There you go.
Ooh.
When was the Spanish flu? Was that 1812?
100 years ago. Wasn't it 1912? Because
that's
when
right.
COVID came out,
yeah.
they were like, "Oh, it's been 100 years since."
Yeah. So then I'll make it the date of the Spanish flu, and then make a eucalyptus
There
beard
you
oil,
go.
and then you just put it in your beard, and you already got it with
And
you.
then you say it has healing powers.
Healing qualities.
A vaccine alternative.
There you go.
Oh, I just got this whole podcast throttled.
It's okay. I said COVID already
Oh,
once.
dadgummit.
Well, and this list that I made actually did come off of because I was just sick about 3 weeks ago.
Look. You hear him dropping that he prepared the list that I made. We never say stuff like that when we're prepared.
We still haven't seen the list.
Yeah. Anyway, you had COVID a few weeks ago.
Yeah. And so these were the things that helped make me feel better.
Yeah.
So
And at least this time I didn't have any, like when I was done being sick, like I started feeling like, okay, I'm not really sick anymore. I didn't have any of the breathing. It wasn't like when I got up and I was just like, golly, it felt like I walked a mile just to walk to the bathroom.
yeah, these latest variants didn't get the lungs at all.
Yeah. And so that wasn't an issue, but for some reason I was just that same fatigue lasted for about a week. And then now I feel like I'm kind of back because I thought we were recording last week. And that's why I asked, I was like, next week, right? Because I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to stay awake. So
Yeah.
What's
We'd found a
new?
way. Vicks Vapor
What's
Rub.
new?
What's
Matt on the sleep on the microphone over.
What's number 2?
Gatorade.
What flavor?
I like the red flavor. I don't even know. I just call it red. I don't know what it's actually
red
called.
number 5. Go ahead and get yourself some cancer.
Here you go. I like the red
Fruit punch.
fruit punch. There it is.
So with a stomach bug, like you would risk seeing red vomit?
Oh, 100%. Gatorade tastes so much
Now-
better coming back up than anything else.
No, when I have a stomach bug like that, I don't drink much. I just
Yeah.
try to get some water down and hold it, but I normally don't drink anything. I drank a case of Gatorade when I had COVID, and
Yeah, I remember you were all over the Gatorade.
yeah, kept me going. And then number 1, pure oxygen. Pure, just 100% oxygen.
You buy yourself the little bottle.
Do you?
No, I
You know
don't.
you can? Do you know they have them?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
do.
that.
I think you can buy them on Amazon.
No,
Well, I've
you
only-
could probably buy some at the ski slope here in town. The slope, the ski shop.
Oh yeah,
That's really popular on
high
a mountain. You
altitude?
could buy a can. You just shoot up with that oxygen. So they even
Interesting.
have flavors.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, and
I've never done it.
I've never done it either, but
Maybe we ought to do it on an episode one time. See,
Oh, I
see if
think
that gives
we
us
should.
feeling refreshed
Yeah.
while we're on some pure oxygen.
Now, when
and I was in some big city, and I can't remember exactly which one it was, but we were
They have
walking.
oxygen bars.
Yeah, I was walking down the street, and there was an oxygen bar. Come in and get.
Yeah.
yeah,
like, what is
when
this?
they all came out, when they were all brand new, like Woody Harrelson opened one up in L.A. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but they have cans. In Breckenridge, they're just all over the place. Every store has cans you can buy.
Well, they got weed there too.
Yeah.
So
Maybe that get your oxygen in your weed.
yes,
Who knows?
Get your whoa
your
Weed O2.
or your ow.
WO2. What's
We're not
I mean?
helping anybody.
There's not a
here.
periodic table thing for weed, but anyway,
Yeah. On to the good word.
Jesus help us.
Stop right there.
All right, bring it to us, Chet.
Okay.
I'm trying Trying to think because there's a movie, but I can't think of the name of the movie off the top of my head.
You'll think of it here shortly.
I probably will.
Okay. Kind of along the theme of be alert, and a couple of the good words that I've had in the last few episodes. I was coming across a passage, actually taught on a passage previous to this one I'm going to talk to you about today, in 2 Corinthians chapter 3, and it's basically Paul defending the fact that he's in the ministry, and he's in the ministry under the new covenant versus the old covenant. And I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time today going through that. But if you want to think about the law is the old covenant, 10 commandments, and all the rules around everything that came after that, and then Jesus put an end to that by him being the sacrifice for our sins, which is a new covenant, which the old is gone and the new is here. So Paul spent some time going through that activity, that like the new covenant, and this is why what he's a minister of is the new covenant. And in chapter 4, after he explained all that, he says in verse 1, he says, "Therefore, since through God's mercy we have this ministry of the new covenant, we do not lose heart. Rather, we have renounced secret and shameful ways. We do not use deception, nor do we distort the word of God." And then, I'll finish that. It says, "On the contrary, by setting forth the truth plainly, we commend ourselves to everyone's conscience in the sight of God." So if you think about, there were some people in the church of Corinth that were like, you're not valid as a minister because you're not of the old covenant kind of thing. And he's like, we're ministers of the new covenant. This is why. And he goes back all the way through, Moses, and he talks about how Jesus came in. And then he says, because of all that, we have this ministry. And then he says, we do not lose heart. And then a little bit later, we do not distort the word of God. And we set forth the truth plainly. So those three things are kind of my good word, is that don't lose heart. Don't distort the word of God, which I think a lot of that's going on these days, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then, the third thing there is, set forth the truth plainly. Like, be clear. This is what the truth is. Don't distort. This is what the word of God says. I'm not going to distort it to make you feel better. I'm not going to distort. I'm not going to use it to harm you, but I'm also not going to shy away from what it says. And then also, as I'm doing this, I'm not going to grow weary of it. I'm not going to lose heart. I'm going to stick with it. So that's a good word. Don't lose heart. Don't distort God's word, and stand firm behind the truth. The truth plainly. We don't need to sugarcoat it. In love, you need to speak the truth, and don't be afraid of it.
And don't add anything. Don't take anything away.
Yeah, that would be the distorting of it, right?
Yeah.
It's the distortion.
Gotcha.
Just it's plain. Be plain. Be clear. Don't add. Don't take away. Don't distort it. Don't make people think it says something that it doesn't. And then don't lose heart while doing those things.
Thanks for listening to the Hardheaded Podcast. Don't forget to share this podcast with others to help us get the word out.
Also, if you haven't yet, please rate and review the show. This helps our podcast show up in other people's suggested shows that may or may not have listened to us before.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.